you know, become barbers, to matriculate in the career as barbers, or just getting an understanding of what the Department of Education is doing in regards to the funding of barbering school and cosmetology as well. So
if, like, you know, the new regulation, if they're too stringent, the laws don't make sense, or the rules don't make sense, then you're going to see a lot of barber colleges not be able to provide financial aid, and you're going to see a decrease in barbers available, right? Or at least well-trained barbers available, right?
Because that's the hard part within our industry. Barbering has never been an accountable, outside of the relationship you have with your barber, it's not accountable outside of that.
So y'all, look who I have. It's MILAN, MOBLEY. Hey girl, hey.
Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel a chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place. Cause the love you give, it can't be replaced. So no one else can make you do.
Hey, what's up, friends in beauty? It's your best friend in beauty here, AKUA Robinson. Today is, what is today? Oh my gosh. September 26th. It is 6:05 right now. I am on my way. I got invited to an event, a roundtable discussion called Cutting Edge Economy, Preserving Community and Craft. So Friends in Beauty was invited as media. This is my first time being invited somewhere as media. So I'm on my way there now. My light just changed green, so I'm about to go. But I'm about to go to Best Buy because as a part of the event, they want us to potentially like interview some of the panelists like afterwards. And I do not have like a portable, like, you know, those little influencer mic type of things. I don't have one of those. So I'm actually on my way to Best Buy. I found one at Best Buy that I can connect to my phone for audio. If need be, I might use my phone to record the video, or I have my camera and I'll just like attach the audio that I capture from my phone with the mic, so that is good. But I just wanted to have it just in case. So I'm actually on my way to Best Buy now because I found one online where I could pick it up. Like, it was like 1 hour pickup or something like that. The event starts at 7, so I'm in a bit of a, it was so hard for me to get ready today. I went to the Janelle Monáe concert yesterday with my bestie. We had a blast. But for some reason today, it was so hard for me to get ready. Like, it was just like not smooth. It took me so long to get ready, like way longer than it normally takes. So I'm a little behind. But hopefully I think I'll still get there on time because the Best Buy is not far from the location. Whew. All right. So come along with me, y'all. Alright, y'all, I made it to Best Buy. About to go in here and pick up my thing. Luckily, the place is only 10 minutes away. Alright, so that was easy peasy. Literally took me less than 5 minutes in and out. But this is the thing. You can't even see it from the packaging. But luckily the place, I don't know if y'all heard me, but luckily the place is only 10 minutes away. So I will get there, if I leave right now, I will get there at 6:47. So I probably have like a little bit of time to like play around and open this thing up. Let me see something, because I've never tried to like use this little tripod that I probably can't do that, huh? How was that? We a little crooked, but let me see. Can I do it like that? I don't know. I feel like we still a little crooked. This little ball thing is not moving. Anyways, I'm trying to prop y'all up really quick. We a little crooked right now, so bear with me. But this is the thing. I just want to open it just to check it out real quick and show it to y'all. But I have my tripod, you know, my regular tripod that stands up tall over there. I ain't trying to break my nails. Oh, speaking of nails, I just thought about something that I did want to tell y'all. Speaking of nails, check out my nails. Yes, check out my press-ons. Fun fact, I have not worn these nails in years, and I have worn them before. These are a pair of press-ons I have worn before, and I'm always in my head like, I know it's got to be a way that I can wear my press-ons again. It cannot just be like a one and done, especially these. Like, these are good quality. These are not like beauty supply store cheap ones. These are like good quality ones. I paid like, I think $20 or something like that for these at the makeup show in 2019. Oh my god, 2019. I think I wore these in particular for the holiday party in 2019. So it's been that long since I worn these. But y'all, I went and I took the drill. You know how they drill your nail at the nail salon? I have a drill like that. Y'all know I be doing my nails sometime at home. So I took the drill and like drilled off the old glue, and it was like voila, like new. Yeah, y'all see what I did there? Bars. Okay, so this is the mic. So okay, I see. Ooh. Oh, hold up. Okay, so this is the microphone. I don't know if y'all can see that. So it's a little lapel mic that you normally would clip here, but I'm thinking for, you know, this for today, what I might do is just hold it and like use it like that. So we'll see. This thing is supposed to be 6 feet long, so it could connect to my, I'm forgetting I'm not using my phone for this. So it connects to your phone for the audio like that. Let me do a little test real quick. Let me go to the audio thing on my phone and see if it picks up. But like, yes. So the ones that I really want to get, y'all seen those little influencer mic that people are using. I want to get those for an event that I may be doing next week. But I think this will work perfectly just for today. So I could use my phone to record, you know, whatever interviews I'm going to be doing, or I might use my camera. So we'll see how it is when I get there, because I was literally just confirmed for this event today, so I wasn't really prepared, you know what I'm saying? So we'll see if I even have to do an interview or not, but I'm still gonna take y'all with me, because let me tell y'all who's gonna be there real quick. I got a few minutes. Let me go to my email. So I was invited by U Management PR, MILAN MOBLEY. She was on one of those episodes of the Friends of Beauty podcast. She was on there a while ago, but at one point she was sending me a lot of people to interview. So I was like, girl, I need to interview you the PR. So I interviewed her for the podcast a while ago. But let me tell y'all who's gonna be there. So I'm going through my email. So we have confirmed the guy who created, I don't want to say the guy. Let me just pull up the thing. That's rude. So, 1 second. Of course, it's going to take long now that I want to tell y'all for sure. The founder, I think his name is Obi. The founder of The Cut is going to be there. There's another guy named Dre that I'm interested in talking to. I forget his last name, but he has a podcast network and is doing a lot of other big things. And then there's a barber. It's like a few people that's going to be on the panel, but I believe the discussion tonight is basically centered around like them trying to take away like financial aid and stuff like that for cosmetology, barbers, all those type of things. So it's like a little roundtable discussion, but I can't wait to see if I'm gonna use this thing. But let me go ahead and get on the move, and I will check in with y'all when I arrive. All right, y'all, I made it. I'm going here, Another Level Cuts. The perfect place to have this kind of conversation when it's pertaining to barbers. Why not have it at a barbershop? So I'm about to go in here. I was going to put on some heels. Y'all see it's raining now too. I was going to put on some heels, but it doesn't look like I'm going to need to do all of that. If it's here, no shade or nothing like that, but I have on sneakers right now and I feel like I could remain comfortable. It's raining outside too, so let's go ahead and go in. The same thing I pulled up. I was like, that's the perfect place to have this conversation.
Oh, yeah, like
All the things we so ready.
Hey, Milan. You good? Milan, you good? Yeah.
Down, are you good?
I want as authentic as possible. So as soon as I say like, let's go, all right?
Great vibes, a barbershop, and you know, some great looking right here to have a good conversation. But can everybody just go around and just introduce themselves? Since we're all meeting for this first time. We can start with the boss, the CEO, the guy that's making it all happen.
And yeah. My name is Obi MOBLEY, CEO and co-founder of The Cut, and you know, we are the haircut app, the easiest way to find a barber anywhere around the country.
Right. Next, I mean, we in your house, so you might, you know, the man of the house. Go ahead, introduce yourself, man.
Yeah, my name is Kenneth Stenard. I go by KJ. Owner of Another Level Cuts Barbershop.
All right. What's good, my guy? How you feeling, bro?
I'm blessed and highly favored. Y'all know me well, and if you don't, I'm Will the Barber. I'm from Atlanta, long story. Traveled all around America, military. End of the day, I realized being a self-employed business owner and BYOB, which stands for Be Your Own Boss, is more beneficial for your life and the future of your family. And so I decided to take that into consideration in my life, and as I was young, take those chances and risks and open a barbershop, which is Photo Fresh Cuts Barbershop on Allentown Road, and now have a barber school and several other businesses. So, yeah.
Black excellence, another level right there, right?
Yeah.
We love to see it. What's good, my guy?
What's going on, fellas? My name is Dre Smith. I have a social media branding and production company with my wife called All About It. Also have a podcast network focused on relationships called Relationship Restored. And all that landed me to now being the head of podcasting at Urban. So,
Okay. So far we got a lot of black excellence in the barbershop today. You know, a lot of black men on another level getting our cuts at the same time, you know what I'm saying? So I'm Conor Mike, I'll be the moderator for today. I'm an entertainment personality, host of the G League NBA, Capital City Go-Go, WNBA Washington Mystics. I also work with Radio 1, DTLR. Blessed to do what I love. Use my gift of gab to entertain people, whether it's a cool, intimate, small group like this, or, you know, thousands of people at an arena or concert. So that's a little bit about me. What's up, my guy? Over here in the suit and tie now. We see you, okay? But he gotta take the tie off. He trying to be casual now. He came in ready.
All y'all got the swag on. I'm feeling like grandpa.
Keep the classic man. Classic man.
So good. So my name is Chris London. I'm a financial advisor. I work with a company called Wealthcare Financial. It's a black-owned investment advisory firm. I'm also the chair for economic empowerment for the NAACP in the Washington, D.C. area. So I'm just excited to hear what you guys have to say.
No, for sure. So I'm glad we all get to introduce ourselves. I mean, everybody's resume, I know y'all kept it brief. Y'all being, you know, a little humble, but it's a lot that you all do. But, I mean, we're here just to talk about barbering, you know, the cut. Talk about the brand, the cut, you know, what it all does. I mean, because it's definitely a platform that definitely helps out people who are definitely barbers, people like ourselves who are barbers, who are looking for barbers to connect with. So get us this, before we get started, get us insight about what the cut is all about.
For sure, I mean, I can do long description, short description. Short description, you know, if you ever use like Open Table or anything like that to like book a restaurant for the same exact thing, but for finding a barber and booking a barber. Long description, if you think about it, you're trying to empower barbers on one side, give them the tools that a lot of large businesses have and large entities, and we're giving individual barbers the same access when it comes to schedule management, CRM capabilities, and payments, so that they can run and, you know, grow thriving businesses. On the other end of that, we're trying to build a discovery marketplace to simplify the process of finding a dope barber, and there you go, because that's the worst thing that could happen, right? Trying to like test a new barber. So we want to like remove as much risk and friction from that experience, so everyone can, you know, get a fresh cut. But we always believe you look good, you feel good, you do good, right? So we want everyone to feel that way as often as possible.
No, for sure. So I want to do an icebreaker with everybody. I want to ask you all just a few questions for those who are barbers who are not, but I feel like it'll benefit everybody as well. Does anybody remember their first haircut? Like, does anybody remember, like, when you can, of course, we were a young guy first, but like to the point where you can remember it? Do you remember, like, you all remember like your first ever like haircut? And if you can, take us through that moment. He's like, hold on now.
We in your house. Yeah, I know my guys. Like, first guy I ever cut, I was in the 12th grade. Okay. First semester, you know. And I was in Grove Street Barbershop, which was our high school barbershop. Okay. And we just opened it at Miller Grove High School. We were the first graduating class in 07. Okay. And so the motto is the school where you must do something. So everybody in the school was involved. Everybody's active. I'm in multiple programs, stuff like that. But the reason I took up barbering was because I did AP art, and I could paint and draw, and I sold my pictures and stuff at auctions. And I did pretty well with that, but my AP art student teacher was like, how can that translate well into the working civilian lifestyle when you grow up? And so how can you turn your art into a craft? And so I signed up for the barber school that just opened, and I cut this guy named Radio. We called him Radio.
Oh, now we hear Radio now. Or Radio the movie. So which one is it?
Radio the movie.
Oh, Jesus.
So, but he was cool though, but he was like Radio the movie, and so and no offense to anybody, you know, but He was chill. He sat in the chair. I gave him a pretty good cut. I gave him an even Steven.
Okay.
Our teacher was Coach Breedlove, our high school female basketball coach.
Okay.
And she owns barbershops in Atlanta. And so she was our barbershop instructor. And she was like, all you can do is even Stevens first 6 months. So that's all we did was the first 6 months of school was even Stevens. And
what is even Stevens?
Oh, which is a Caesar, which is another term, which is basically a one all over, a cut evenly all around. And you can fade the back or something, but she only let us square the backs and square the sideburns.
Gotcha.
So we couldn't do anything.
For those who are listening and those who don't, hey barbers, I want to hear what's the even. I'm thinking Beauty Channel. I'm like even Stevens, not first Stevens, like I said.
Yeah, even all over. And so that was pretty easy. So I did a pretty decent job, and I can draw and paint already. So I felt pretty symmetrical. And from there, I was told I was the second best in the class.
Okay.
I didn't like that. And that was
pressure.
Yeah, and that was because someone else, his father owned a barbershop, and he ended up becoming my best friend. We went to college together and stuff, and crazy. But I was always at competition about I'm the best. So I made sure like I focused on getting better, and I kept driving. That's how it goes.
Dre, you remember your first? Look, you ain't cutting no hair. You remember your first haircut now?
Yeah, it was a typical young dude. You go to the barbershop, they got that little box leather thing. They sit in the chair.
You sit on it.
You sit on it. Mom standing right there, making sure I behave and don't act too crazy.
And I felt that I could use the scissors.
Oh. How long was your hair?
Unfortunately, didn't turn out good. Then my mama beat me for cutting my hair. Scar still today.
Oh.
So yeah, that was my first one.
Okay, well, cut to remember, right?
Pretty much.
Right. Last but not least.
Man, look, I feel like we all probably had the same very first cut, but probably the first cut that's the most memorable, maybe more of a punishment cut. That I got as a kid. I think it was worse than that. It was called the Oreo. You know what I mean? It was right at the top. You know what I mean? Just a little circle patch. Sent me to school. But then after like a couple of days, then it's straight like a 0 right to the scalp. But that was the first cut that was really memorable.
You probably called him radio at the time.
I tell you what, yeah, definitely acted right the next time for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm glad everybody's got that first cut experience, whether it was good or bad, a 5. Become barbers, to matriculate in the career as barbers, or just get an understanding of what the Department of Education is doing in regards to the funding of barbering school and cosmetology as well. So we actually had a great conversation before we got on camera, and I didn't want to talk to you too much because he was talking about a lot. So what are your thoughts on what's going on? You've been hearing about the process of what is going on with financial aid with the Department of Education? People say it's not being funded with barbering, or it is funding, but it's just a certain curriculum that has to be done to make sure it meets both ends of the parties.
Well, what I first want to say is that the current administration is really looking out for the average Joe. We've had former administrations that haven't really looked at the average American, what they can do, what they can't do.
Yeah.
Education has been a heavy burden on a lot of people. So the current administration is looking at the Department of Ed and saying, how can we make this not so heavy for the student after they get out of school? So what they've done is made several proposals on for-profit schools to say, okay, if your students aren't making, or that if half your students are making less than or the same amount of individuals going just through high school, then we need to reevaluate student loan situations. We need to create student loan situations where which the financial burden is not so heavy, where which 8% of a graduate's income goes towards the student loan or less, or 20% of disposable income. And so what most people don't understand is that this is great for the individual going to school trying to learn how to cut. In this area, it costs about between $16,000 to $20,000 to go to cosmetology or barbering school. So that's a car. And so are you paying heavy on that car as well as paying heavy on an automobile that you got to use to get to work. And so the administration said, okay, let's pull back the veil and let's make sure that these for-profit schools are transparent in how they're dealing with their money. Because a lot of for-profit schools will take people's money and no money will graduate. And so that's the big piece that this administration is looking at. Not saying that it's good or bad. It poses several challenges. It could possibly dry up the amount of money that individuals are getting going to public school. It could possibly do that, but I don't think that it will. It could possibly provide the opportunity for people to start looking at their coins. And I think that's what a lot of people are not doing. They're not looking at, okay, why am I going to school? If I'm going to school, what's my number? And I tell this to college students as well as individuals that teach financial literacy. What's your number when you go into a program? What's your hourly rate? What's your annual rate? And are you going to get there? Now, on Glassdoor and a couple of other websites, it says that the median base salary for a barber is somewhere between $32,000 and $45,000. Which is not necessarily the case. Every case is different. Every individual is different. Everybody cuts differently. Some people can get 3 heads in 1 hour. Some people can get 2. Some people can only do 1.
Yep.
And then depending on how good you are, your customer service trait, your ability to go above and beyond what you're doing will determine how much you make. And so, again, what the administration is endeavoring to do is open up transparency so that students aren't taking advantage of it. And at the same time, that the burden to pay back a student loan is not heavy. If that makes any sense.
No, for sure. It's making sure both parties are basically financially stable and comfortable through the next steps they take throughout their journey through this cosmetology or barbering as well. But the main importance is making sure, we're funded. Making sure, we're getting the proper needs to make sure we can have, our barbers and cosmetologists funded and in their craft to help us out. Because let's all be clear, when it comes to whether cutting hair, getting our hair cut, barbering, cosmetology, that plays an important part of how you look good and making sure you feel good. So I'm just gonna open the question, if I can answer. What is the importance of making sure our cosmetologists and barbers are making sure they're funded through financial aid and making sure they're funded through their career? Why is that so important? And then, to you all.
Well, it's important because you don't want this trade to become like a lost art.
Yeah.
When you go to a barbershop, you want to come out. You feeling fresh, you feeling clean, you feel like you're ready for the day. Mm-hmm. You might have an interview, anything, but you never want to go out feeling the same way that you came in. Mm-hmm. And I think that's that's very important. But from an educational standpoint, it's important to have that funding to get these kids through school, because we do have apprenticeship programs, but I feel like a lot of times they aren't getting everything that they need, that they would be getting in the actual school, because the person who you're working under, they may not be able to teach you color, or they may not be doing color as often. You may not be you may not learn about the chemicals and things of that nature that you would definitely learn as a school. Mm-hmm. So I think that educational piece is very vital in the funding. And a lot of times, coming from our neighborhoods, we may not have the financial literacy that you're speaking of, saying, oh, what's your number? I don't know, I'm just trying to get by. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, excuse me. So it's kind of like, if I don't have this money to pay for school, and I don't have the government's backing, who are supposed to be working for the people, then it's kind of like, well, you're telling me I can't pursue my dream because I don't have financial aid backing. You know what I mean? So I think it's very vital. I understand what you're saying about the for-profit schools. They're taking money and things of that nature, but just and not to take up too much time.
This conversation.
Yeah. Just a quick personal story about me. Like probably wouldn't be in the position I am today without financial aid or help from the government. You know, barbering was something that I always wanted to do, but I kind of got pushed into it. You know, I was laid off twice within 2 years. A lot of people don't know that, from corporate jobs. And instead of just sitting at home, you know what I'm saying, I decided to pursue my dream of going to barber school. I didn't have any money to pay for that. Like I said, I was laid off, collecting unemployment, but if it had not been for financial aid, you know, I may have been here, but I probably wouldn't be in this position today.
Ownership, black ownership. You covered up for that though? Black ownership, no, for sure.
We set prices for the shops and everything else, and we said this is what we expect for all barbers that come in this city. They need to have a license, they need to go through the schools and whatnot. That, from there, we would be setting a standard. And now we can start providing things that are expected and mandatory, and is already mandated by law. And so we can just follow that aspect. It's basically, we don't enforce it. We don't enforce what goes on, as well as at the end of every fiscal year, October 1st, September 30th, they have a budget that they do, and they do government shutdowns, right? Which we're hearing is going on right now. Yeah. So I know I'm not been there. you was like,
October 1st is around the corner.
Yeah, but they said that could go. That's a rabbit hole right there. That could, yeah. So, but moral of the story on that one is that they go over our budget as well. They go over every budget, everything that gets money allocated to it every year for everything, and it goes on a federal side, and it's on a state side, it's on a county side, it's localized, it's down to your, if you're doing it in your house, then you're successful, right? So they do a budget, and at the end of the day, when they look at the numbers on the barber board and the barber cosmetology, and they see that this year we had 4,000 barbers, but last year we had 3,900 barbers. That's horrible. Yeah. That means we only had 100 barbers like pass in this past year, but then we'll look at the stats of how many barbershops we had, and we might have 3,000 barbershops, right? And so, but we had 3,000 barbershops. Well, let me say it better. We might have 3,500 barbershops. So now that means we have 3,500 barbershops with 3,900 licensed barbers. Like, so numbers aren't adding up. It means most of these people, you know, so that's where it's hurting. And it's how can we enforce this without infringing or hurting our businesses as well? Because for me to enforce that, well, not me specifically, but for a barbershop owner to enforce that, you would have to probably, you know, tell your barbers they need to go to school or they need to be an apprentice. And if you're not a master barber, you open a shop without being a master barber. So if you're not a master barber and you can't help them get their license and teach them, and they go take their test, and that goes into what you were saying. So the first part was now like what you were saying as far as that, my concept of the school that I have, Photo Fresh Academy, is I have a staff of master barbers. So my staff of master barbers are my barbers from my barbershop. So I've had them for 5 years, and I've been working these guys into everything they know and all that stuff, and they got their master barber license. So as we've opened the Barber Academy, we can have 3 apprentices under each of us. So as I have like 4 master barbers, we have 12 students.
Which holds accountability, as we talked about.
And so, we have class Tuesday through Thursday. We have observation day on Saturday, which is they watch us in the barbershop and learn. And then they have cut day on Sunday. And I go through bookwork. I give them assignments. They have homework tonight. All they turn it in. It's easy. It's a fast track program because they are grown adults who need to get back to their lives. And also, the biggest aspect, which I haven't spoken on yet, is finance. Right? And so with all of this, I haven't mentioned finance at all, right? Because there is none. And because this is an apprenticeship program. In an apprenticeship, master barbers are supposed to teach students for free. And they're supposed to use your equipment and cut at your station. So that's why I had to open a separate location for my master barbers to be there, and we can teach the students at those stations, and then they can go home and get back to the regular life and stuff. The way we make money to sustain the business is we do memberships to people in the community. So it's $30 for adults, $20 for teenagers, $10 for kids, and it's all month long. So you can come keep getting your hair cut all month long for $30. So and that you already know that beats all the prices out here. Like so, yeah.
Like, hold on, you on that level right now.
So like with you, sweep this hair up, you know, a few dollars.
Last time I made some money, somebody sweeping up.
Yeah, it's like we all been there. So I think you know, speaking to your point, so.
So it's not, and you all talking about this origin, no father figures, all these type of different narratives. But when, like you said, when you come to a barbershop, having that funding to make sure we uplift these barbers and have a place where guys can come together so we can stop the violence. Someone could be having a bad day. You spoke on being a therapist. I feel like as a young black man, and as a voice for other black men, and you all being a voice of black men, we need somebody to understands us.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like you said, it's just like church. It is like school. You need to have an outlet because sometimes your home or some places is a place where you feel you can talk to somebody, unfortunately. But having these places where seeing a black guy who owns this, seeing a black owned app, coming to a barbershop, seeing a black entrepreneur and wealth in the NAACP, a black entrepreneur who's actually paving the way for young black barbers, a black man who can look like me, who's doing stuff in the media, a black man who's out here, being loquacious and speaking his mind. Different people comes and walk of life, and that's the importance of having. Yeah, it's a melting pot, and like melanin and diversity within our melanin as well. So I think it goes back to that funding. And also making sure we're holding each other accountable when it comes to the funding as well, to make sure the money is calculated out to the right, it's calculated and being used in the right power, the right ways to make sure it's funding. Like you said, there's both sides to it. But that's the importance of it all. But I know I talked to him about the importance of making sure barbers are being funded and enrolled, because the enrollment rate going down can affect us as personalities and entertainers. But how can explain to us how that can be an impact on you all as business owners, and having the app where barbers can connect. If that enrollment rate goes down, how can that affect you as entrepreneurs in your business?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like less about us, but more for the individual shop owners around the country. Where like if they don't have barbers to fill their chairs and their seats, like we are the second thought after that, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the fears, right? If like new regulation, if they're too stringent, the laws don't make sense, or the rules don't make sense, then you're going to see a lot of barber colleges not be able to provide financial aid, and you're going to see a decrease in barbers available, right? Or at least well-trained barbers available, right? Because what you might start seeing is a lot of people just start cutting hair because they can get you out the way with even Steven, right?
Yeah.
And you see
Even
people
Stevens
getting
is the word
nicked,
of the
people starting to get nicked, and like that's the fear. Like you don't want people going out here giving out haircuts when they're not properly trained.
But
right?
that goes back into securing our foundations and being like something that could be implemented. And I don't want to make anybody frustrated with me on live or the internet, because this is like alright, but like if you had to, can you kind of tell where I'm about to go with that?
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
like you gotta apply something before you can.
Yeah, not to have something for sure. You know what I mean?
Accountability, all at the end of the day.
Yeah, because that's the hard part within our industry. Barbering has never been an accountable. Outside of the relationship you have with your barber, it's not accountable outside of that. So, excuse my French, but a term that I use with my people is you a nigga with clippers. Like before accountability starts happening, that's what you are.
Right.
Like before you start taking this serious and getting your L's, having a license, having insurance on you, understanding AFLAC or something, so you can have stability if your hands get injured. If you fall, you jam your wrist, and now you can't cut. It's important because with us, you no longer have an income. The moment you stop cutting, the second you walk out of the barbershop, money flying out your pocket. So all your income is when you're at the shop.
I feel like I would love you guys speak to that too, because I know, just going back to my experience of starting, the business I have with my wife, and she could sell sand to the beach. Like she's a great salesman. She was a hustler. But it's like, how do you transition from turning this hustle to a business? And I feel like you have the aspect of the technical skills of cutting hair, right? But how do you get people on that business too? Like, how have y'all done that with the barbers that you have? Trying to educate them not only on the technical but the business side of barbers.
So I have an entire SOP. With standard operating procedure. I tell you, I was in the military.
They doing like 30 push-ups.
Yeah,
Okay, they even speak.
The
box cut.
I have 3 core values within the shop. It's accountability, punctuality, and consistency. And so everybody follows the core values. The shop is great. If you're consistent with your punctuality, which is being on time, and your professionalism, you'll do fine, right? And so what I've done since day one is every career I've ever had, I got promoted. I get promoted fast. I like making a lot of money, and so the last career I had, I helped make that company $250,000 when they first brought me in, and they gave me $5,000 for a bonus check. And I said, I need a raise. I mean, I don't need a bonus. I need a raise. Right. And so corporate came down, or district came down. They said, we know why you need a raise, because you got child support. You got to pay mom. Old white lady. I said, okay, you know what? I quit. You kissed my butt. It's a super lawsuit, right? And so, but of course, I didn't do that. I don't know. I'm gonna say I have excuses, right? But moral of the story, I took that as motivation, and I said, okay, well, next year it's time to open my own barbershop. I'll never rely on another company or business to ask them or expect another check or wait another 2 weeks or anything like that, because I clearly can make as much money as I need to, and I'm always helping everybody else make money for them. And they have
you can promote yourself, what you got going on, and also shout out to whoever your barber is. So
My name is Obi, CEO of The Cut. If you need a barber, you know someone who does, download The Cut, iOS and Android. Easiest way to find a barber, also the easiest way to run your business as a barber. Let's see, shout out my barber 83 in Alexandria. Shout out my barber Christian in Alexandria. Shout out any barber I go to.
Alright, KJ. Shout out myself.
Yeah, right? Come on now.
I'm my own barber. And what else? Anything else? I mean, if you in the area or not in the area, stop by, see Another Level Cuts. We're here 6 days a week, close on Mondays. Look us up, you won't be disappointed.
Right.
What's up, y'all? It's Will the Barber. Owner of Photo Fresh Cuts. I'm my own barber.
Okay.
You know, but shout out to my stylist, the Queen's Tip. And shout out to my shop's manager, Quan.Cuts with a Z. Migo Baby with 3 Y's. One Stop County. That's all my barbers. Shout out to Dis Cuts as well. Shout out to everybody else. Appreciate y'all for having me here. I've clearly been rapping.
That's fine. This is the barbershop conversation. You'll have a whole conversation while you're waiting, whether you're up next or not, until you're done.
I remember us having, the only thing, the email said 7 to 9 was when we got a whole another hour just to talk about stuff.
I'm Dre Smith. I guess the one thing I would leave for people is something one of my college coaches told me that always stuck with me, is that the man who doesn't know what he doesn't know is a dangerous man. So it's okay not to know things and seek knowledge and seek information, and that's what we're talking about here with the schooling and funding for schooling and stuff like that. But acting like you know something that you don't know, that's when you really do damage. So that's one thing I take away, and just shout out to my barber, Lola Barber. I travel from Tyson's to Waldorf. I catch that flight every 2 weeks.
Loyalty.
That's what I said. Barber keeps you straight though. So that shows you the importance. A man that doesn't know what he doesn't know is a dangerous man.
All right. Again, I'm the moderator. I'm Kyle on the mic. One of the thing I want to get out there is always about a quote. Why try to fit when you're born to stand out? So like you said, being a unicorn, being different, whatever you do, whether it's barbering, whatever your aspiration is in life, keep being authentic for you. We're in a world where social media is the power, where you can be just losing yourself through other people's opinions, what other people want you to be. But as long as you're authentic to yourself, being you, staying creative, and thinking outside the box, the world is your oyster. The sky's beyond the limit. And shout out to my barbers, my woman barber, Dara Crutcher. Shout out to her, Inspiration Locks Cuts. Shout out to all the lady barbers. And also shout out to my bros since high school, Sula High School. Sula High School. Yeah, we talking about all. Shout out to my guy Josh, Finesse Cuts. Last but not least.
Well, Chris London, and I want to say thank you for this robust conversation. I would add this. Too often we are sofa setting or chair participants in the game. We learn to be technicians, but we don't learn to be bosses. We don't learn to be masters of our numbers. And so if there's anything that I can say to anybody that's listening or anybody here, know your numbers. Time is the only commodity that you can't get back. You can't get dollars if you know how much your time is worth. That's the most important thing I can say. You love your family, love your people, love what you do, be passionate about it, you'll make a lot of money. Shout out to I Need a Barber. So I'm just saying, I'm taking
Look at this,
cards.
look at this, look at this.
Because I don't look as good as these gentlemen. So, thank you for allowing me to just take part in this conversation.
No, for sure. Also, shout out to the cut. Shout out to our sponsors, Vocal Water and Flavor True, and also this is powered by Lemire Vodka. So let's all get our cup up in the air right now. Lemire Vodka, real quick. Yeah, shout out to Lemire Vodka now. Let me tell you this. There's a good aftertaste to it, so no matter what's in your coffee, better be Lemire Vodka now. Come on through with it. Come on, black owned now. Come on now. So before we end all this, yes, this is powered by them, so we appreciate you all.
Yes, sir.
Let's go ahead and do a toast on Lemire Vodka real quick. So I toast to success for the cut. I toast to success for all our men and women barbers. I toast to success for you all and your future endeavors, whatever you do. And let's keep being positive, keep being role models and influencing the youth in our community out here. Let's go ahead and kick in these cuts. All right, let's get it. It's Connor Mike, we out. Boom. All right.
That was great.
Cool beans.
Oh no. First of all, this lamb chop, disrespectfully good. I cannot.
When I talked about it, I said he did this other two. He knew this was kind of like stalking, much like being
So y'all, look who I have. It's MILAN Mobley. Hey girl, hey.
I finally met my girl in person, y'all. Like, it's been years.
It's been years.
Years.
Yes.
But we're here together to stay.
Yes.
So you gonna see me more.
We're gonna see her more. We're about to stamp it with the phone number and everything. But yeah, she invited me to this event, so I had to shout her out.
Oh, wait, you saw me again? Oh, I was in there again? That's the here. Oh, right here.
The cut. That's not bad. That's really good. Okay, y'all, so I actually just left the event. I'm very tickled right now because there's like a family of cats out here. It's a little cat house. Don't let me get distracted. I'm actually looking at a very cute fluffy cat right now and I just can't even. Anyways, so I know I didn't get much footage of myself, engaging, which I should have. Like, we just, after the conversation, had the opportunity to kind of chop it up with some of the panelists, and also met two other barbers. Dang, I forgot to get the other barbers' information. Dang, he's gone. Chopped it up with two other barbers that work here as well, but definitely connected with Dre because I want to learn all about having a podcast network. He has his own podcast network, and I met someone else here that has her own podcast network. When the barber who owns the shop knows somebody that has a podcast network, so I'm like, this is synchronicity. So told Dre I would reach out so I can get like a consultation or something like that. Definitely connected with Will the barber, as well as the owner of the shop. I'm gonna just say El Jefe because I can't remember his name off the top of my head right now. These cats are so freaking cute, but yeah, definitely gonna have them on the podcast or whatever. So thank y'all. YouTube, see you. That was Will the barber walking past saying see you soon. But yeah, this was such a great conversation, and I had taken down notes. I actually did not get to like officially like interview anybody. I just had like conversations with them, and I probably should have recorded for y'all, but I didn't. I was in the moment. Food was torch, as y'all saw MILAN. So I was so tickled to see her in person. She just told her girlfriend, like, we've known each other for like 4 years and just meeting each other in person because she lives in Atlanta. She's from the DMV area, but she lives in Atlanta, so we just met in person. So grateful to her for inviting me to this event as media. This is the first time we've been invited as media, so very, very appreciative to be able to do coverage for this. I'm gonna post some things on my Instagram story in a minute. Probably miss it if you're not, you know, following me on Instagram. It would definitely have expired by the time you see this video, but yes, I do plan on doing more things like this. So if you have an event that you need some kind of media coverage for, if it's like beauty industry related, definitely hit your girl up. If you need a panelist host or anything like that, an event host, I'm the hostess with the mostest, okay? So definitely hit me up, because those are opportunities that I'm actually starting to seek out myself. It's like hosting panels, doing media, things like this. So I might be throwing down the brushes soon if your girl get big. If I become like a Gia Peppers or something like that, it's over for y'all, period. It's like that. I'll never forget my Friends in Beauty. But yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to take Friends in Beauty to that next level. So yeah, thank y'all so much for tuning in. I know this vlog is a little bit different. I wasn't really in there much, but I really enjoyed the conversation that was happening tonight, just around like financial aid, the dangers of financial aid not being available to you know, students in the future for them to pursue their higher education as barbers or cosmetologists. And those are services that everybody pretty much uses, unless you cut your hair or you do your hair yourself. So just trying to find solutions for that. It was a really good conversation. So that's why I want to continue the conversation with Will and El Jefe, because I had actually took some notes and had things that I wanted to ask them. But I think it's a really good conversation to have on the Friends in Beauty podcast, and as well as to get to know them, because they are popping. They are both popping. So yes, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Of course, subscribe here to Friends in Beauty for more vlogs. Tune into the Friends in Beauty podcast every single Wednesday. Stay connected. Follow Friends in Beauty on all social media platforms. Join the Facebook community, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.